Okay guys, and welcome to the video. Um, this video is about alleged leaks for a future expansion for the Division 2. However, take it with a pinch of salt and speculation, all that jazz, because it may not be true. Again, we've had leaks in the past which have been spot on with seasons. We had the Raid one that time that said there's going to be hunters, and that was never true. So take it for what it is. A lot of things mentioned in this, however, I've covered in the last 6 months, and most recently in a revamped 2 new videos, which was things we need for PvE and PvP for year 3 with changes, and then it was a survival 2.0 video the other day. But again, a lot of that stuff is actually in this, and particularly hunter related. And I've said how hunters need to be utilized more in those videos. So let's get into it. I'll read through what this alleged leak for future expansion entails, and then I will give you my thoughts on a few of these things afterwards. Let's get into it. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. The story content, similar to Warlords of New York, how we hunted down Aaron Keener and his rogue cell. We will be hunting down Natalia Sokolova and a group of 5 to 4. The number is tentative, of elite Black Dust Skill Squad. A fancy word for lieutenants, obviously, right? This is going to take a similar approach to Woni, and you drop into a new city not mentioned by quote-unquote leaker. Mechanics-wise, this might be bittersweet for some, but yes, a new level cap will be raised to 50, so the gear you've collected will now obviously be obsolete, and exotics will have their blueprints drop on a weekly post-launch rotation. New content will revamp seasons formula and add more events to the weekly track instead of repeating the similar event every 2 weeks. Events will overlap, however, to allow all players to participate until the end of the manhunt. The new seasons will have hunters and as manhunt targets, with each giving a new backpack trophy and a mask. Why hunters? Won't spoil it for you guys. The seasons will activate once the players have done with the DLC story. Items and loot. Of course, there will be a plethora of new weapons and a minimum of 10 exotics at launch. More will be added with upcoming updates. Surprising addition, keeping every detail to a minimum, as we got Summit as a replayable game mode for the Woni expansion. We'll be getting 2 modes for this new update: survival-esque mode and a PvP mode. Best news so far. I mean, that is fantastic news, right? Will this be free? Now, yeah, we'll have to pay for new content. Look, on the bright side, at least we'll have more content than last time. Disclaimer, I've been forwarded these leaks and as received, and I've kept some uncertain things to myself: raid, exact loot changes, etc., to avoid much of the stir in the community. Now, I'm neither an employee of Ubisoft nor I claim these leaks to be 100% true. But one thing I can say for sure is we're in for a wild ride in year 3. Okay, that's one side. Let's re-go through, and I'm just going to point some things out which I've mentioned in my 2 previous videos, right? So with how season 4 has ended, right, and how the story was a bit of a letdown. Now, side note, I'm going to have a video on that and what I think coming as well. But the Natalia Sokolova part, we're not going to get a new city. That's blatantly obvious. Now, I agree with Epic. Now, I remember Yannick or someone said on State of Game over a year ago that they don't have the Division 1 assets or something like that, so they can't make changes to the game. They can only just sort of maintain the servers, right? But they must still have in-game assets from the Division 1, yeah, on a server somewhere, because all they've got to do is keep some part of that map, yeah, take away the snow assets, right? So it's just a sea with no snow effects. You keep the summer sort of vibe going, murky summer vibe anyway. And then yeah, give us back Midtown up towards Central Park, because in Division 1 we were actually really supposed to get Central Park as the Dark Zone expansion, which we never actually got. We got the border around it. So yeah, and what I think as well with the narrative side of it, especially with Division 1 survival, right? Black Tusk must have been around, if that with Hunters, how this is pointed out, then the Hunters working for Black Tusk as their elite kill squad, so to speak, going after the Division to retrieve antivirals from the Dark Zone. Remember, in Division 1 survival, that was what we were getting. And with this pointing out we are getting survival, allegedly, then I don't know, it's sort of like a nail on its head. Like, Black Tusk and Hunters, they're one and the same. Yeah, to me it just makes sense as a combination. But as well, with going after her 4 prime targets and herself being Natalia Sokolova, are we getting new skill variants again? And if we are they going to be some returning ones from the Division 1? Or are they going to be some unique, brand new skills? And if so, massive, really, if you're listening, give us a support station. I've told you guys 100 or so times in feedback, just like the community. But yeah, like, also the player level increase. Now this is with the community, right? I'm going to be real with you. It's needed, but a lot of the community are going to be against it, right? And these are the ones that don't like refarming for their gear. The only way around this is if, like me and Coldboy agreed about a month or so ago, attributes on gear and weapons need to be increased. Then you can do your player level increase, because you're refarming for higher attributes at a higher level, right? Division 1, I need to remind so many players that Division 1, every 5 to 6 months we had gear score increases until we got to the end with classified gear sets, yeah? So that made the game last a bit longer, kept it a bit more fresher, and it kept the looter shooter core aspect of the game. The Division 2 at the moment, still, we don't even need to loot gear. We just deconstruct it for components for the optimization station. Again, not really looting for gear that we need, right? So a gear power level increase to 50 for me. I said this initially, but then I retracted it because it can be done so quickly. Give us a double player level increase up to like a 20 level increase or something like that. Get the farm bit going. You've not got to rush the narrative with Natalia Sokolova. And it's a win-win for the players, right? Again, with a further expansion, you can introduce some new gear sets or bring some old ones back. The only problem I still say with gear sets is they need to take away the overall 4-piece talent split onto the chest and backpack. As I said in my previous video on this already, if you go with a gear set, you just need 4 pieces. Chest and backpack talent, null and void. Straight 4-piece gives you the overall set piece, yeah? And also, again, they need to bring talents across all gear back. Again, that would offer up some different dynamics in the build diversity right there. But Hunters being utilised more, right? So after Natalia Sokolova's expansion is done, allegedly, our next in line of prime targets are actually Hunters, yeah? That's actually really, really cool. And I've said in my previous videos already, Hunters need to be utilised a lot more than what they are. And I still think my idea with dynamic Hunter spawning instead of the Stalker ones that run away, working just like rogue agent encounters, would be... It would be a fucking brilliant idea, right? I mean, imagine a scenario where you're doing some activities in the open world, you get a rogue agent spawn happen, and then the game just decides to fuck you over with a hunter spawn dynamic situation, and you're in a squad, so it all, works out with how many players? So, you know, 4 players, 5 hunters, 5 rogue agents, yeah? And you've, like, the hunters, the rogues, yourself, you all got skills, so you're in a 3-way fight. Like, that would just be madness and so funny. Again, hunters should be in the dark zone anyway. I'm just gonna say it. They need to be in the dark zone. But as well as alluding to, we're getting a PvP mode. Could we be getting the foundations of Last Stand to return to the game? Side note, PvE/PvP survival mode? Maybe. That would be cool. If it's a PvP mode for Last Stand, then obviously it's going to need dedicated servers. If it's on the New York map, and that's probably the way to bring the Dark Zone back there. If we get Midtown back. So, yeah. Of course, a plethora of new weapons and a minimum of 10 exotics at launch. More will be added over coming updates. Now, cool. Don't give us skill tier orientated weapons and skills. We've got too many as it is. Broaden the game with different ones. Slower RPM weapons, high RPM weapons. Just give us a broad, different in style of talent and damage weapons. So, no, that would make the community happy. And then, if this alleged content is going to be free or not, no expansion is going to be free. If they charge us £25 or $25 for it, then make it good. No bugs, no messes. It comes out day one and it works, right? Get the ETF to test it. Do a PTS on it, right? Or something. But make sure it's got an NDA, right? And as someone who's under multiple NDAs with Delta Company and Ghost Recon, I can tell you, nothing gets out, right? Well, unless you fuck up your game files, but do it so you cannot record it, you cannot stream it if you are testing it. Now, I will be more than happy to test out future content on this game and not speak a word about it, right? No, I test and record early Ghost Recon gameplay, but that's because it's early press events, etc. And, we record a week in advance and we upload the day the content comes out, so to speak, yeah? So, massive need to do better on that. And I still feel like the ETF needs to be doing a bit more. Again, I don't really know anyone in the ETF, so I can't really comment, all right? I can only comment on the aspect of me doing a similar thing with Ghost Recon, if not doing more, right? So, premium content, if we get season tracks again, cool. But don't give us the same rip and copy and paste bollocks on a season track, then expect to make us pay £10, $9 or $10 for it. So, hell, I would even go as far as say bring us a new specialization for 1 or 2 new ones to go into year 3 with. Broaden out. That would actually be a positive change too. And I'm just going to end it on a disclaimer part. That this person has more information, etc. Raid loot changes, alright, loot changes if it's drop rates or it's attribute changes, cool. Raid, no. Don't touch the raid. If it's a power level increase, fine. The raid scales to the new world player, the world's player level. That's obvious. But if we're going to get a new raid, don't even bother. Just give us incursions as missions. Again, guys, take it all with take it easy. This isn't 100% certain. Again, it's speculation. Now, as I said at the start, if this comes to fruition, great, and this is accurate. But I'm going on optimism, and if some of this works out to the final cut, okay, cool. If it's not, we're not getting overhyped for anything. And this is what I've said on that previous announcement for year 3. Keep your expectations low. Don't get overhyped to be disappointed when it comes. So what is listed here is cool, but just keep realistic to what we get. And I will see you in the next Division Ghost Recon video that I do. And if you enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and actually let me know down below what you think. And I will see you in the next video very soon. Rogue out.